Hello, everybody. This is Jay Del Vecchio, owner and president of WITS. I am excited today to go over some fun things in helping you take charge of something that's I'm assuming been a passion of yours for a long time, which is being a personal trainer, a certified personal trainer. I like to think of it as it's a proactive health occupation because we're the ones that are on the front lines setting this thing up to keep people from getting to the back lines, which is doctors and surgery and all kinds of other side effects that come with not being having a good lifestyle and so on. And many people come to us for exactly that. And let's face it, we've all had situations where we're getting clients that we know, like, God, I wish I could have got my hands on them earlier. They have such a great attitude, and now it's at the back end, and you can't do as much for them, and it's more of a process and so on. So let's get right to it. I want to let you know that we have been around quite a long time, over 30 years. We're in the United States and in Canada and a few other international locations. We actually just have a class starting up again since COVID. They finally got back together from Bermuda. So we're going to be doing over there again as well. They have a number of wonderful graduates over there that work on the island. Our big thing for you is to show you that we have been here, we're established, and we do things differently than just that online stuff. So as we go forward here, I want to share some of the people that are our expert panelists that are part of what we're doing. And I think more than anything else, you will be impressed with what they can share, the insights they can give you about what we do. So first off, I wanted to start off with Ashley Devicock, who is our certification director for the Certification Council, but she has a lot of background, a lot of time in the industry, and she's here also of her own time to really help in case you have questions about the industry or other different things. These folks on our panelists are really very cool people. So Ashley, say hello, and if some things you want to share, we certainly would love to have it.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight. As Jay mentioned, I am currently the certification director. So in that position, I oversee all matters related to testing and compliance. I also work with the Certification Council, which is made up of WITS alumni, and we work together collectively to make sure that everything is moving forward and that we're maintaining the standard of excellence that we have set in the industry. Now, prior to becoming the certification director, I actually taught the CPT course for 10 years in both Pennsylvania, and then when I moved to New York, I switched over to the SUNY system. So I taught both the practical component and the lecture. And before we became NCCA accredited, I also had some experience proctoring the exam. So I've kind of seen it from all aspects. And I think that what we offer, especially with the practical component, is just, it's invaluable. It gives you an opportunity to practice your skills before you enter the field. And we have the only accredited practical skills program in the industry. So I think that is one of the things that really stands apart. However, the quality of the lecture material is also up to the standard that you would see with any other top certification in the industry as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has as we get going here. And thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much. And next of our expert panelists who was able to get with us, this is a master certified personal trainer, somebody who got WIT certified a while ago and has added other certifications to become really well-rounded into being able to help his clients of all different ages and so on to be able to pull it out the best in them with his knowledge and his practical experiences. So hi Marlon, can you hear me okay? You can unmute yourself if you like and share a little background about yourself and what you've been doing.
Hey, good evening. Give me just a second. Let me get in a quiet space. I'm actually training a client right now. Yeah, my name is Marlon Darby. I've been certified with WITS, as Jay said, since about 2017, 2016. I have to double check. Former U.S. Army veteran. So, of course, in terms of training soldiers, training people, that's kind of been a lifestyle since '93. And like I said, we worked various various uh, and CJ kind of put me on the spot. I wasn't expecting to actually present anything, but uh, various age groups. So you're starting from young kids, trying to introduce them into fitness, making it fun, making it worthwhile. You have your teenagers who some are looking at possibly becoming college athletes, attending combines, getting scholarship offers, want to be stronger, bigger, faster. You have the midlife folks that get to the point where, hey, things have kind of gone awry. Got a reunion coming up. Got to take a trip to the beach. Want to be able to kind of take my T-shirt off and feel comfortable in my own skin. And then you have the elder population, which unfortunately sometimes when we get them, it's kind of after some type of medical type of situation. So we try to get them back on track, get them back on their feet, moving around, and the best spot of health that they can, so that each day is a little bit better day. I'm based in Greensboro, North Carolina. Just newly started kind of proctoring some of the tests over the last year, and so I'm kind of in that new phase. But I can tell you this: being around the industry for really roughly plus 30 plus years, one thing about our particular program is when you go out there in the field, you can definitely guarantee that a WITS certified personal trainer and above has the skill sets. So it's not just reading the book online, memorizing the test. You actually have to demonstrate it. And so that's something that makes our program kind of stand out above all the rest in the industry. And
Yeah.
I will give it back to you, Jay.
Yeah. No, thanks, Marlon. And I appreciate that overview because I know you've accomplished numerous certifications with us, and I believe in senior and medical fitness. I believe you have that one as
Yes,
well as the
sir.
youth. You've pretty much done all the key ones in the different facet and age groups, and that's impressive in and of itself that you would excel through that. So many people just want to do the minimum, which is a different thing than what we do as far as doing just the online. Like you said, practical skills are what it's all about, because you're going to have to perform just like an athlete and help different people with different levels, motivation wise and so on, information wise. We're like a chameleon to them as far as being able to give them what opens them up and drives them, because everybody's different. They have their own personality. So no, thank you very much for sharing that. And certainly as we go along here, if anybody has a question for any of us, certainly again, pop open your mic. You do have access to do that. You're self-muted at this point, and you can do so. So feel free. Tom, I know he's a gym owner, and he's the director for JCC in Virginia. So he is. I was going to try to jump in after he got done one of his meetings and say hello. He's not on with us yet, but that's okay. I have plenty of wonderful stuff to cover here. One of the things I wanted to touch base on, these are some poll questions here, and I'm going to activate it because I want to learn a little bit more about you, and it's only going to take a couple minutes. I want to see, so please participate for those of you that are on right now, and I know some are going to join late from what they'd emailed me about, but I would love to hear what your mindset is for where you're at and why you're with us tonight, so I can better answer or tailor make this thing, funnel it to you. So I'm hitting those key points for you. So in doing so, let's tag on here real quick with this one. And you tell me, how long have you been thinking about being a certified personal trainer? And you can answer these. It is active now. Is it 0 to 6 months, 7 to 12 months, or over 12 months? Some people have to really think and search and pulling information that they need, and I love that. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. We're all different creatures as to how we handle it and how we gather information and how we push forward. So right now we're collecting responses. We'll go a few more seconds here. I see where we have, and I'm going to close it here. We have, wow, we have half the vote in so far with 50 seconds, and over 12 months is 50% of the group. 7 to 12 months, 17% of the group, and a third have been, it's fairly new to them, 0 to 6 months. That's cool. Okay. That's something I needed to know, because obviously that helps me get, again, I want to tailor this thing for you and be where I need to be for you. Here's another quick question. Last one, I promise, but it'll help. I'm launching this one. What is the most important area to you for attending this information webinar? Are you interested in some general information to make a decision? You want specific information on the in-person labs, because that's what we do that nobody else does, simply. Just that hands-on, week by week approach to it, so you can really master those skills, just like a car mechanic, an EMT who wants somebody just read about it and then goes and tries it on your mother, brother, or sister, right? The last one is there to discover the time commitment to get the certification, because we're all busy people and we have time frames and family responsibilities and so on. So you're trying to figure it out. Okay, as we go through here, we're looking at 67% are interested in some general information. Okay, we'll easily provide that. Oh, we just jumped to 50 and more people have jumped in. Okay, I want specific information, 25%. And 25% want to discover the time commitment. So I want to make sure I cover those things for you going forward, because that's important stuff. And I want to make sure I'm getting you what you need and the reason you're here. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Just a little overview. We have a number of different approvals and accreditations. NCCA accredited is the top one that employers are looking for. So I want to make sure that you know that. The difference with us in that aspect is we are the only ones that actually have gotten the accreditation for the written and the practical skills. What does that mean? To me, it means the others are just training you halfway. The online ones are, it's online. You're doing book knowledge stuff, reading, answering assignments, so on. You're testing online. You never have the practical skill component really in depth shown to you, because you don't meet anywhere to go through it. You don't get tested on it. So consequently, you're coming to them. Your certification is not what our certification is. And that's what employers love, is that when you break out and you get there and you go to do these things, the WITS trainers can perform. I know they've gone through a number of hours in personal labs. I know they have a 30-hour internship that's available to them that almost all of them take, so that they can really walk into jobs. And then they get tested on top of that. So guess what? It's all the components that you need to be successful. So there's no guesswork. I didn't just watch a video and now I'm going to try it on somebody's mother and hope I don't hurt them. That's not what we do here. It's not about just book knowledge. So again, kind of re-emphasizing the concept here. It's about the knowledge. It is about the practice. It is about then getting that experience where you're role playing with each other in the practical skill under the watchful eyes of a fantastic local leader in your area, like Marlin, for instance. You would have somebody like that working with you, who's going to show you, okay, this is what the book says, and these are the protocols for doing this assessment test. But guess what? This is where they're going to try to cheat to score well on the assessment tests for flexibility, for cardio, for whatever it may be. This is where they're going to get hurt. And this is why you have to step in and make sure they know those things and are aware of it, whether it be an exercise, a stretch, an assessment test, and so on. that kind of practice, that kind of role playing. And then we get into what? Verbal. Be able to develop those soft skills, make mistakes with each other and in the labs, fine, laugh about it, learn from it. We all move in and pick up different tidbits of what the way she presented that, the way he presented that. I like the way they worded that. I'm going to do that. I think that'll be it made it so much clearer for me as a potential client that was being led. That's what we do that is completely different than the others that are just talking about theoretically online and then testing online. That's it in a nutshell. I should have a prop with a nutshell, but that's what we have. Do we have any questions so far? Anybody that has a question for me on any aspect of this?
Hey, Jay, could I jump in on this
Yeah,
part?
absolutely.
So my base certification is with a different organization because that was before I was even aware of WITS. And
Yeah.
one of the most difficult things for me was that transition period into the industry before you have your confidence, having to kind of fake it. But what I noticed with our program is that you get to work out all of those kinks in the classroom so that by the time you enter the field, you have the experience and you are genuinely confident.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it on the nose. Thank you. I appreciate that insight from your experience with that. And I know there's a number of well-known longevity-wise out there, and some people, if you already have a tremendous master trainer that's working with you, that can share those values with you, but most of us don't, right? So you're kind of working it out on your own, and yeah, that what awkwardness that is to try to work on your verbiage and sharing that, and then of course making sure that you're correcting them, cueing them properly, so they don't get hurt. No, yeah, no, that's amazing, and that is a big reason why there's a lot of turnover in clients not staying around, because they get hurt, they get too much soreness, too many strains, and they don't renew, or they stop coming. And once you do that, they're gone. So let's go over a little bit what we're looking at. The best offerings as to what we do with WITS. Do we have an online program for people that feel they already have a degree? They already know most of this stuff. They work out. They may be already training, and they just need to get the formal credential. Yeah, that's our gold, our online certified personal trainer. Lectures and labs are all online. Video enhanced. We have teacher mentors, which is different. A lot of these others, you're dealing with mainly a CAN presentation, and you do your homework assignments and so on. We actually have teachers you can talk to, engage, and so on. And then we do an in-person one-day review. So you would come and you'd spend 6-7 hours with a real person, a trainer, a professional, to then march you through those things to make sure what you think you saw in the videos, what you've been getting graded on, that you can actually, again, execute it. It's pretty good. We even throw the bonus virtual lectures in there for those people that they can engage with another instructor live. But is it as good as a hybrid? No. If you're a novice, if you're a fitness enthusiast, at this point you're just trying to get certified and you need all the help you can get, that's what the hybrid does. You are going to have, on a set time and day each week, a lecture with degrees and experiences as long as your arm, and you're going to get the opportunity to ask them questions. They can see you if you turn your camera on, and vice versa. They're going to have theirs on. They're going to be talking to you and going through all these fun things with you, so you have the concepts down cold and you really understand how you apply them. That'll lead towards what the in-person practical skill labs, which are weekly on a set time, and you'll be with a person who will be assuming you know nothing. So if you know a little bit, if you read really well, great. If you've had some experiences, great. But we're going to assume you know nothing and take you from the ground up, from starting with assessment testing. We're going to actually, I'm going to take that back. We're going to start with medical history forms and reviewing them with clients. Most trainers, they just get the information, they glance at it, they throw it in a drawer, and they go. and they do some generic program because that's not much more than what they know. You're going to learn how to break it down and go through. Do they take herbs, and what kind of herbs are they? I think one of the best things I ever heard from one of our teachers that I was sitting in on a class for, and he said, the person's like, well, I take herbs and they're all natural, so I didn't write any of them down. And I said, well, arsenic is natural. It's an herb, but you don't want to take it, right? It's not a good thing for you. So these are the kind of things you learn to go through. Well, why didn't you put your heart murmur down? When was it? So you can really make sure you're not going to hurt somebody, but you have a serious game plan and how you're going to apply these things, because that's what the practical is all about. Then we go into assessments. So whether it be flexibility, upper, lower body strength, cardio, we're going to assess all that. So when you set up a game plan, you have a game plan. It's not something you're just doing some generic thing that you learned through one of the videos online. No, this is about an individual, personalized, and personal trainer direction as to how you're going to do this thing. That's what it's about. So all of this will come together with that data. Then you can set that, you can test it every month so you know where they're improving, where they need adjustments. Even if it's just because of mental boredom, you need to change those muscle group areas because you want to make sure, guess what, that they are staying on top of it and then driving with your help to be where they want to go from goal month 1 to goal month 3 to 6 and so on, and whether hopefully it gets to maintenance and so on and so forth, using tubing or free weights or machines. It depends. Not everybody can use all of those based on some of those assessment tests. So anyway, a little long-winded, but that's who I am. I want to make sure you have the details down there in regards to what we went through on our poll questions. But that's what the hybrid is. It's virtual lectures, in-person practical labs, all at a scheduled times. The lectures are recorded, so you will get a copy of those a day later for your studying, for your review, to make you the best you can be in case you want to fast forward to a section where you got a little bit in the gray area. You can check it out, go through it as you do your homework assignments, because in this course, pretty much figure 2 hours for every hour of class time. Why? Because some of you maybe read all the time, others don't. And so getting back into those old school habits, no matter what level you ascended to, you need to get those study habits back. So, because this is not a giant workout class at all. This is about teaching you to be a certified personal trainer that's going to help people, not hurt people. And you're going to have a game plan with how you do stuff from week to week, month to month. We're going to make you whole in that aspect, which I know whether you're doing it just for your own personal edification, to help train you and your family, some friends, or whether or not you want to go professionally and do part-time, full-time, it's a beautiful feeling. It's life enriching when it comes to getting paid well, and at the same time, seeing people change and bumping into them in a store and them just going off, sharing it with their friends as to what you've done for them in that area. It's a cool feeling. It's a very enlightening feeling. So, but that's what it's about as far as that goes. Let's go a quick breakdown here so you can see we're looking at time-wise, for those who are trying to figure out what you were looking for as to what time it's going to take on time. It's 15 hours of virtual lectures. They're going to cover biomechanics, exercise phys, fitness testing, equipment programming and usage, all those kind of things. Now, with exercise phys, biomechanics, and so on, we're going to teach you the essentials of how the body works, the stresses on the body when you start to work out, and what exactly occurs, right? So you have an understanding of it. We're not doing brain surgery here. We're not going to do cardiac surgery. We're just going to teach you how the body functions so you can be effective at your job as a certified personal trainer, working with somebody's mother, brother, or sister. Simple as it is. So the practical part, everybody knows that's the fun part. For the most part, everybody likes to do that because that's why you're here. You work out a lot. It makes you feel great. You want to see about doing more with it. So the 15 hours of that as well, it's in person. We're going to go over everything from role playing the drills, assessing clients, programming variations. I kind of covered some of that. Performance of primary muscle groups. And that's how you'll be tested. We'll call out a muscle group. We'll ask to see an assessment test for lower back flexibility. Go, and you'll turn to your mock client, who is also a tester, and they will let you perform, demonstrate, cue them, all that kind of fun stuff. And you're graded on a 6-page review of how you did. It's a 1 that you did it, or a 0 that you didn't cover it effectively enough, that maybe would be a danger to the client, or lacking for future issues that could occur from in a chronic injury, right? So all of that comes to life. It's all stuff you've been practicing. You've had homework assignments on it. You've had pop quizzes in the practical. This is where it all comes from. This is where we work on it. It's all about proper exercises. And again, that verbal presentation, because if you are looking at the ground and mumbling when you're going through something with somebody, guess what? Do I feel comfortable that I'm paying this guy or woman $50 an hour? And I'm not sure they're sure what they're showing me. They aren't. And I just signed up for 10 sessions, right? $500. And I'm really unsure that they know what they're doing. And if they're doing that online stuff, they probably don't. They're figuring it out. Kind of like Ashley was nice enough to share from her experience. They're trying to figure it out as they go along. So if you're in that first year, that learning curve, whoa, as far as employers, they're looking at it from the other side of it. I'm paying this person $25 an hour or $50 an hour, whatever it is, as a certified fitness professional. I see him doing crazy stuff. I got to run across the workout room and tell him to stop, because that's not what Mrs. Johnson should be doing with her lower back. Why am I paying him this? And why are clients around them dropping off? Now I have the awkward thing of letting them go because they're not performing the way I thought they would for a certified fitness professional. And that's why employers all around the country, Canada and so on, they ask for grad lists from us literally every single week. Who just came through the course? We'd like to talk to them. Can you send us a grad list? And we do, with your permission, we do. And gives you a lot of business opportunities for growth and so on, let alone if your long range goal is to start your own place. So it's good stuff. Let's go over the materials. Okay, we are gonna provide you with a downloadable student workbook. Has everything for you, everything. And then of course you'll have student study tools to help you for preparing for the exams. We'll give you quizzes and retired exams and so on and so forth. We'll give you direction in that part of it. The bonus is the test vouchers are included for the national exam. So the written and the practical, they're included. Normally, if you just want to come to us, you had a degree, you said, I want to test out, I know it all, cool, it's $450. You're not going to pay that. That's included in with your tuition at the college. The required textbook purchase is yours. It's $109. It's the 8th edition. It just came out in May. Very cool, very amazing, very detailed, easy to read, which is not the norm for a lot of textbooks, which that's the reason we love it. And it gives you everything you're going to need. So when you go into class, I read these couple chapters this week. I now get in front of my lecturer. I'm pretty clear on a good part of it, but there's some areas that are definitely gray. They're dark in my head. I need clarification. So when I get to that section, I'm going to ask my teacher about it so they can break it down more for me and let it, the light bulb go off and click, right? And that's what you're paying for, and that's why we're here. So that's what it is. Let's go to the next part here. Your exams. Everybody wants to know about their exams, right? Okay, well, you're going to get a 100-question written multiple choice exam. That's half of it. Now, on online certifications, that would be it. If you're a good memorizer, great. You can kick it out and you'll be certified with them. But then you actually step into the arena, and can you perform? Maybe yes, maybe no. Let me just say 80% of the trainers in the course of a year either quit because they can't survive because their clients are dropping left and right. They're not getting the renewals, they're not getting the referrals, or the employers let them go. 8 out of 10, that's our industry standard. And there's a reason for it. And I think it's because all the others are doing that online stuff because it's an easy moneymaker for them. I have my name on this one, and I will not let that just dance away because I know you're going to be working with somebody's mother, brother, or sister. My favorite little slogan there, and I don't want you to hurt them. I want you to be proud of when you walk around that you're not hiding from somebody in a grocery store because you know you hurt his mother's shoulder and she hasn't been the same and never came back to work out again. So the you have to pass a 4-section practical exam, 81% overall or better. That is an on-demand exam. And again, you'll get certain things that are just going to be asked of you in those pages. I want to see an exercise for the posterior deltoids using free weights. Go. You'll turn to your mock client and you'll take them through that. But guess what? You've done all that in class. You've done hands-on. You've done the verbal, so you're not sputtering, stuttering, and going something like this. And next thing you know, your client is asking out of their agreement and they don't want to renew with you, let alone give you a referral. We're going to show you how to do it, and you're going to experience it, and you're going to bond in your class. It's very cool. Oh, I see somebody who wrote me a question. Never be shy to unwrite here. Does that happen a lot, people getting hurt? I never thought about it. It's kind of scary. How can we ensure that our confidence is built so this never happens? This is from Christina. Thank you. Oh, she also asked, can the PTs on the phone share stories of this nature? Oh, as far as getting hurt and so on because of things, sure, I'm sure they could. Ashley, do you have anything? Let me address the first part of it. Does this happen to a lot of people? It happens at all different levels. I'm not saying somebody's going to rip their shoulder, go to surgery and do this and do this and do this, and you'll never see them again, and maybe they'll see it. That does happen. But what tends to happen more along the lines is pulls, strains regularly, where the lactic acid and so on is so built up in their body because they weren't trained properly in the approach that they're hurting so bad, they're just like, it isn't worth it. I'm just staying home and watching TV or going to watch my kids play baseball or something. It isn't worth it to take care of myself, and I just hope that I eat well enough and I become better. It happens way too often in regards to that part of it, for sure. Injuries are definitely noted by the insurance companies. They certainly handle all that. We hear horror stories. I'm not going to go into different ones, but I don't know, as far as, Ashley, would you like to share on maybe anything you're aware of?
Yeah, sure. That's a fantastic question. So I have been training for around 15, maybe a little bit more years, and I have never had a single injury. And I think that is because I'm a technical trainer. I focus on corrective exercise. So everything for me is form-based. It's about technique. It's about science-based training, making sure that we're not going to have an injury, even if there's perfect form, that's due to overtraining. And I train a lot of professional athletes. So when you're looking at the demands that they're putting on their body, it makes me really proud to know that we can have a partnership where there is a very low risk of injury. Now, outside of a group like that, I think the other thing that's very nice to have at our disposal are all of the guidelines and modifications when training special populations. So our textbook has an awesome chapter on that to help you get started. So when you have someone who is going to have needs that are outside of general population, you'll receive the training through the CPT course to know how to get started with that. And you don't ever need to worry if there's a higher risk, then there's always the option to refer them out to someone that has those additional credentials. So like Jay mentioned when Marlon was on, that he has the medical fitness. I also have the medical fitness. That's an awesome continuing ed course that WITS offers. And you could do other things like that. When you're earning your continuing education credits after you get your CPT, then you're able to go in whatever direction you want to specialize in. And that really helps you to kind of hone your craft. But I'm not one that really worries about injuries because I think when you do it the right way, that alone is going to really reduce the risk of injury. And that's one of the nice things about the practical class that if you don't know the right technique for an exercise or you're not cueing it correctly, you have someone there that's going to help you to make sure that you're going to be doing it correctly by the time you get into the field.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's excellent. Thank you for that comprehensive answer. That that's a big thing, and I would assume, Christina, if you have any other follow-up questions to that, again, you can unmute, or if you just want to type it in the chat box, I'll question panel, I'll certainly follow up as well. But that's an amazing way to do it. And one of the things we teach our trainers from the get-go is this is what you're qualified to do. This is what you should be doing. If it comes outside of that arena, experience-wise, like that wouldn't happen with Ashley right now because she's been around 15 years and has gotten additional certifications and so on, and or Marlon as a master trainer, same kind of thing. They can really reach back on their other knowledge or other certifications with WITS and dive in and be successful at it. But if they even don't know, Ashley's smart enough, Marlon's smart enough, we teach everybody, go to somebody who's more succinct in that area and safe in that area that could expand on that special area to make sure they're giving you the right information to go forward. It may be reaching out to a physical therapist, to their doctor, whatever. I always use the concept of a registered dietitian. These other certifications that are about giving out these nutritional prescriptions, if you will, after taking a 20-hour nutritional. It's valuable stuff to get, but are you really qualified to dive into what medications they take and the effects it has? And eating wise, do this, do that. You're now on this diet that they've assigned. Opens up a liability. Why not play off a registered dietitian, and then it's give and take. Their specialty is an exercise, so they'll send you clients, and vice versa. You send them clients for getting exactly what they need in a safe way. So that's the kind of playoff that you always have as a true professional. I see another question here real quick. I'll just jump into it. Oh, it just says, thank you. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. So the practical skills, and then of course, what is the CPT level 2? That's a free bonus option we do. That's a 30-hour internship. So when you graduate, taking both exams, you graduate, we're going to send you a list of your area of internship sites that not only are offering a senior trainer to oversee with your 30-hour internship of doing, you're not going to be just cleaning equipment with a towel or passing out towels. You're going to be doing things, and they sign off on that you did them properly and so on and so forth. So it's an incredible, valuable experience. I hear from trainers that graduated all the time saying, this was amazing, was the best part of it, because now I really had a chance to put it in the field, in action, and work with this facility, because a lot of times they offer you a job. It's not all, they just love to help out. They're looking to hire WITS trainers. So there's very much a give and take there. They're hoping you're going to stay and be part of their team. So, but that's included that 30-hour internship, and it gets you a level 2 certification. And in most facilities, whether you stay there or not, a level 2, you're getting paid a lot of times by how many levels, how many certifications of experience do you have, and they're going to pay accordingly for that, right? Versus somebody who just gets the bare minimum and never really expands on that and grows the way they should, because then you're wearing multiple hats. You can do multiple things for different clients, and that is such a big value for who they can assign to you going forward. That's a big thing. Hey Tom, you say Tom has joined us. Tom's an employer, and he's not sure if I can't hear you, Tom, but you can certainly unmute yourself. You must have come in on the attendee side versus the panelist side. That's fine. So feel free to jump in for sure on that. In the meantime, let's go to, here's just a really good thing to do. If you want to see what you're getting paid in your area, go check out like a ZipRecruiter kind of thing. They'll show you what the average is in the area, and obviously some of them being a YMCA versus a high-end club, they all pay different things. So you get an average hourly, part-time, full-time kind of thing, but everywhere showing the growth in this industry. This was the first time the growth in this industry. When we had a recession before, way back when, a lot of the recession things affected the trainers' pay and so on and so forth because everybody chose the cable box instead of maybe working out, so they cut their things. The health clubs still went up and added locations, and franchises grew. Some of them, due to COVID, obviously had to shut down for periods of time. But overall, everything still grew. And right now they're projecting through the next 8 years, 14% growth annually for that. So the jobs are there. Like I said, I get contacts every week in any particular area wanting to do more. So it's something fun to check out if you decide to do that. Let's see. Who wants to know what the bonus is? It's right there in front of you in red. The health coaching certification is a bonus on top of this. For the first 10 registrations in any of our college locations, they will be getting the health coaching certification for free. It's normally a $599 value. It also gets you CECs. Ashley had mentioned that. You need continuing education credits to renew like you do in any health occupation. Ours is every 2 years. It's 20 CECs. This course will cover a majority of it. And more importantly, you then know how to coach up individuals specifically with goals in mind. Why did they fail? They've had 5 trainers. They're 50 years old and they never stuck with it. Why? So you'll learn how to break down that mental aspect of it, finding out who the diet saboteurs were or whatever the case may be with their family and friends. You're going to learn how to put it together, and that's what this certification does, and it's free. We don't give it to you until the CPT course is over. So just so you know, we want you focusing on, remember, 2 hours for every hour of classroom. So getting that done out of the way, focus on the foundational course, which is the personal trainer program. Then you're going to be sitting pretty where you can then take this online at your leisure to learn those coaching techniques and how you can be effective with youth versus senior and so on and so forth. The book is excellent. It's from Human Kinetics, excellent book. So here we are. We are a little bit just after 7 o'clock, 7:14 Eastern Standard Time. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anything they want to jump out? Oh, I see a little thing here. Oh, by the way, looking at the bottom here, you'll see witseducation.com, the locations. If you go to our homepage with that, you'll see the locations. You can see the different colleges offering different things here for the fall. So if you don't see your location, certainly let me know, because we have others that are doing some private stuff that's not even listed. So.
This is Christina. I have a quick question. So you said, let's go back to the time commitment. You said 2 hours for every hour of class time. Does that include the in-person session? Meaning, because it's 3 hours of virtual, right? Plus 3 hours of the health club. So that's 6 times 2, 12. Does this mean 12 hours of studying or 6 hours of studying per week?
It means 12.
12.
Great question.
Okay.
It means 12.
So
I actually
12,
suggest. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So 12 hours divided by 7 days a week, right? We're looking at, yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how much time should I study each day, so so that it's enough to pass in 6 weeks.
No, that is a great question. Again, my generalization of it, if you will, is that it's 2 hours for every hour. How you break that down really depends on you. For instance, I have people that contact me and say, look, this is great to know. I'm taking a Tuesday lecture and a Saturday practical. So my weekends are where I just tell my friends and family, leave me alone. I'm booking. I'm working on my career and taking the certification. I have others that break it down into so many hours per day, Monday through Friday. It's really up to you. I'm just giving you a good boundary parameters to set for yourself, realistic ones.
Mhm.
You know for instance, if you're are you a regular reader on,
Yeah, I am.
see, you have a huge advantage there. I have some that people that don't read anything more than the sports page. And for them
Mhm.
to get back into that habit of reading a couple chapters a week, that what's going to be lectured on next week, or for the labs and so on, they really struggle because they don't put the time in and the discipline to say, turn off my phone, not mute it, turn it off. And this is what I'm
Mhm.
going to work on. I'm going to read my chapters and get them out of the way here on Saturday. Before I go into my
Mhm.
lab, I'm going to read for 4 hours and grab them, So yeah, if you're a regular reader, and I'm glad you're thinking that way, because I don't say it lightly. I'm not trying to turn anybody off. I'm trying to get you guys to tunnel vision focus, and your friends and family will appreciate and respect it. So, um,
Jay,
but
can I add something there, please?
yeah,
Yeah, Christina, it is, it's a significant time commitment, but because you're doing it for a short period, I feel like that's the thing that makes it the most manageable. You know that it's not going to be forever, and you can push yourself to that limit for
Mhm.
a short period, and you also know what's on the other side of that, right? Like a major life change, a major career change, that I think towards the end, when people are starting to to get a little bit fatigued from it, that's the thing that gives you the drive to see it through.
Mhm. Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's 5 weeks. You get a 6 week is your study week, if you will. It's a bye week, is what we call it. The 7th week you'll test. So
Mhm.
yeah, it is a short time commitment for what you're doing for the big prize at the end of it. Now I have somebody here, and thank you for that. Tom, by the way, your mic is green. Have you tried talking? Because we can hear, I can see that your mic's green. So, oh, now it's not. It's turned off. Now it's green. Thanks, Tom, for trying to get on. I can see you though you're on the web there, but it's not kicking in. Let me answer the next question from Ryan. What are some of the big box gyms that hire WITS grads? Any disadvantages for not having NASM, ACE, ISSA? That's a great question. Let me share this. I won't say the ones that have asked, but I have, of those three that you requested, I've had and been asked, would we run practical skill labs for them? Now, why would they ask me that? They ask me that because they don't offer anything but online and online testing. They don't want to build out the network of 360 instructors we have nationally of qualified people to lead these programs and to test on these programs, because they're a whole separate group. If you teach it, you don't test it, because there'd be a bias. So as far as the big box, it's a who's who. We've had 24-hour fitness, Crunch, Blink, Anytime Fitness, the Wise, bunches and bunches. And like I said, they reach out to us all the time for grads in their area for that. So Ryan, that's a great question. The fact that the national organizations accept it as well as the mom and pops, it's they do it for one reason, is because it makes their job easier. The other groups just don't want to put in the time to bid out the infrastructure that it takes to do it right. Because again, who'd want an EMT that's never done any of these things and just theoretically pass a written exam online? Um, let's see, where's the local health club location? I live in Naperville, Illinois. Um, let's see, Naperville, is that the College of DuPage? Would that be right, Christina?
Yes, that is correct. Naperville, yep.
Naperville, okay. Just wanted to make sure my mind was clicking in
Mhm.
there right. Yeah, we work with Fitness Plus, I believe it is. It's with Wheaton School, the Wheaton District. They have
Okay.
their own community fitness center. We've been working with them for 10 years. Alex is their director there and loves our graduates, looks to hire them all the time. We actually have a number of the other districts in the area that contact us for grads all the time too. So when I get done here, I'll send you the exact location and Alex's contact information. Again, with my email there at the end here, guys, if you want to reach out to set up a separate individual talk and or ask specific questions that maybe come to you later, I'd love it. I love it. And I'll certainly send you the information we have for that area. I see you say the test dates are on 11/12 and 11/16 is one date for written and the exam and the others for the practical exam. Absolutely. You'll have a 2-hour written exam, 100 questions. We set those up on a separate day, unless it's a Saturday course. Some of the Saturday courses, we do that in the morning and then we test in the afternoon. But you're actually assigned a separate 45-minute exam for the practical skills. And you'll have 2 testers there, one that'll be calling things out, one that'll be your mock client, and you march on through and they grade you accordingly as they go along for that. So it's very comprehensive. It's kind of exciting, can be stressful, but by the time you get there, you're going to be ready. Because if you're doing your homework, you're doing your role playing, you're doing the pop quizzes that we do in person with the labs, it all comes together pretty quick. Yeah, so, but a great question. Anyone else have any questions they'd like to tag in on? Because I love questions. So I'd love to help you with it. Tom, I see your thing is green, but for whatever reason, you're not coming through. Sorry about that. But I appreciate you gave it the old college try. Things happen technically sometimes. Everybody will get a recording within the 6 hours. 6 hours from when we end here, you'll get a recording of this. So if you want to swing back and check on something, but bottom line is, you got bonuses with the test voucher. You got a bonus with the health coaching certification coming to you to make you even better and stronger at your game. And of course, I would love to answer questions you have afterwards that you think of. Here's something from Ryan again. Do you have any info on pass rates for in-person and book exams? Yeah, overall, the passing the exams on the first try, 63% is the first one. Okay, so it is it's a challenging exam, but I can tell you this, that when we ask and we talk to those who didn't pass, most of them didn't get the book until the 3rd week, which is silly. It's a college class, just like you would in high school, whatever. You need the book. You need to read the book so that you can get the most out of it. And of course, more importantly, get ready for your career, right? Others just don't engage the way they should. They leave early from class and things like that. It's a challenging course, but it gets you ready to succeed, and that's what it's about. It's not just about getting a piece of paper. Otherwise, honestly, you should just go to one of the online ones. I mean, their pass rates, one of them that I saw is a different group there. They guarantee you don't have to pay if you don't pass the exam. And it's only a written exam. So what do you think they're gearing it up to? And they're not accredited by anybody. But there's a bunch of them out there. So you have to be very cautious about what are your goals and how do you want to do it. But I tell you what, the team I've got of teachers out there, they're amazing. They're amazing. Tom's an employer, like I said, in the Virginia area, but he's also become a teacher for us because he's so sold on the concept of what we do and how we do it. And the people that come to him that are grads perform. It makes his job so much easier. And that's really what it's about for an employer. Make it easy for me, and I want everything you can send me. I shouldn't have to be holding hands with somebody on what they're doing over there to Mrs. Johnson that's going to hurt her back, which is basically a very simple concept that they didn't read right from their textbook, or the video that they didn't show them on how it works. So I'm very proud of what we do, you can tell. So
hey Jay, can I
yeah.
add one point about the pass rate?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I don't want that to intimidate anyone. I think that the takeaway point there is that you want to earn a certification that reflects that it was difficult material, that it was challenging, because then holding that certification says something. So coming back to one of our past questions about hiring, when I am doing my own hiring for my company, so this is outside of my capacity in representing WITS, that, you know, I can hire anyone with any certification, but when I'm going through resumes, there are only 2 certifications that seeing those to me says what I need to know. So even people that, you know, they'll say they have an exercise science degree or they hold other certifications, even NCCA accredited certifications, that to me does not necessarily translate that they possess the skill set that I'm looking for. And having the WIT certification always does that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ashley. That's great insight, especially from your employer's hat as far as wearing for what you do, which is amazing. Ashley's actually also runs a program, Design Club, which is for advanced trainers who want to learn how to do everything scientifically based, and she leads that group, which is very cool. It's a proud endeavor she's on. So anyway, I don't want to keep anybody any longer. I, again, appreciate your time. It's invaluable. I respect you so much just for doing your research and really diving into it, because it's easy just to go by the bells and whistles of today's modern social media as to what looks cool. So please write me if you have any questions. I'd love to help you going forward. And this, again, recording will come out 6 hours after we click it off here, so you can have it to review later, and with you, some friends. Maybe you have some friends you want to partner up with to work out with you a lot, and probably would be a fun study buddy kind of thing. So thank you again, everybody, for your time. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to working with you. Ashley, thank you. Marlon, thank you, because I know you're at the office, so to speak, doing some odds and ends while you're there. Tom, I appreciate it. Sorry for the IT issue for calling in, but everybody have a great night, and be wonderful. It's all about helping people change that lifestyle. It's a good feeling. I hope we see you. Bye.
Thank you, Jay.
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
Jay.
everyone.